I've had too much Monster. I feel a little bit sick. Hi, little YouTubers! I'm in a fantastic mood today. So this is a great video. It's a great day. The sun is trying to shine. Yeah! Just got off the phone to my friend and it was just like the best conversation ever. Don't you just love a good catch up? Anyway, today's video is going to be about how to get your story noticed. This is specifically for episode. Okay, so the first thing you need to do to get your story noticed is have an eye-catching cover. Try to make something, in my opinion, you should try to have something that's different to the rest, but still in a similar style. It's uniform with the app, but still makes yours stand out. I personally recommend having an art, like a specific artist. You can get covers, like it can cost anything from like $20, like US dollars, to like $100 for a cover, but find an artist that you like the style of and then see if they will draw a cover for you. Like you can either commission it, and I'm sure on episode there's a load of people that would do it, like take requests for free as well. So yeah, find an artist, or if you're an artist yourself, create something that has a unique style and is eye-catching while still being like uniform and like episode relatable. Also, what you need to remember about a cover is that no matter how big you draw it, on the app it's like this big. So you really don't want anything that's like too busy. You want something that's really like literally eye-catching. So normally I only have 1 or 2 people on my covers and it's their face, or like, you know, this bit. The second thing that you need to do to get your story noticed is have a short, snappy, really good story description. So I found that changing my story description can change my ranking massively, so it can make me go up or go down. So make sure you've spelt it right, make sure the grammar is correct, make sure it's enticing and makes people want to read your story. I often have a question in it. I kind of sum up what the story is about. So for example, becoming Queen Bee, a description I would write for that is like, from being a nobody to being the talk of the town, can you handle the popularity? I think having a question in there is always good too. And customizable characters are really popular, so I usually put that in my description as well if I have customizable characters in the story. My third tip for getting your story noticed is make sure your story is in the right genre. If you're writing a romance story and you put it in horror, people aren't going to read it. If you're writing a complete drama story and you have put it in comedy, then people aren't going to read it. You can do that and you might get to like a higher rank in that genre, but not overall. But then that will just limit your story, and the people that want to read your story won't be reading it because that's not what they're looking for. So make sure you're in the right genre. I find a lot of stories I write are like romance, drama and comedy. But I think what the best thing to do is like listen to the feedback of your readers, see what they say, and like see what genre your story fits in the most. The next thing to get your story noticed is promote the beep out of it on Instagram. As I'm sure you all know, the episode community is massively based on Instagram. So let people know when you're updating your story, let people know when your story's coming out, introduce your characters on Instagram. It is a great way to promote your story. I just strongly recommend it, to be honest. I think it's just a great thing. Like I had got my episode Instagram account before I even published my first story, so I could like let people know my story was coming and give them like sneak peeks and updates, and like people, when that happens, people feel like connected, I think, I don't know, maybe. The next thing I would recommend doing to get your story noticed is making sure that it's well thought out, like the whole story. Don't just rush to publish it just because you want to publish it or get it out. Make sure you've thought out the story from the start to the finish, to the middle, to the characters, to the backstory. Like the better your story is, the more people are going to read it. It might take a while to get, a lot of reads, but if you've got a good story, people are going to read it. I feel like that's the case. Think about your story. Think about it real good. Next thing I say you should do to get your story noticed is publish with at least 5 chapters. I'd say 10 is the best, but 5 chapters so that people can get into it, and then update regularly with multiple chapters. It's a lot of hard work. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's easy at all, but it's a great way to get your story noticed because people will see how quickly you're working, how hard you're working, and it's worked for me in the past, I would say. So I would recommend you doing it in the future. The final thing that I would recommend you do to get your story noticed is have an absolute fire opening scene / first chapter, because people will judge your story by the first chapter. It's not like a book. You can't just flick to the end or flick to the middle to see if the story gets better. You have to read it from the start. So you want the start of your story to be the best of your story. Get some drama in there, get some romance, get some like, woo, what's gonna happen? Like, get people intrigued straight away, because then they will read it. I hope this helped. I know it's a little short video and it's not the longest, but there's just a few tips. It actually might be a short video because I spoke at super speed the whole way through, because I've had a ridiculous amount of caffeine today and it's not sitting very well with my body. Okay, anyways, I hope these tips helped you guys. If you have any questions about promoting your story, just comment down below and I will try and respond to all the comments. Okay, I'm done here. I'm done. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. Buy my merch. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching. You guys are the best.